A lasting solution to the lingering industrial crisis embarked upon by the civil servants in Ogun State, southwest of Nigeria, may be underway as the state government and the state labor leaders in the state held a meeting over the issue. The two sides have, however, agreed to resolve the impasse amicably without jeopardizing the interests of the state workforce.
We don't like to even talk. We want our work to speak for us. But when we do have a reason to talk, you want it to be very good reason. But this one that we are doing now is now good reason, because I can safely tell you, and I did mention to them that yes, we are not very happy that Ogun State, we are Ogun State, and I'm not just saying this for the camera. In the context of this nation, we are always there, and we should do things that will continue to put us in that preeminent position. Yes, we have sorted ourselves out, let me just say that, and I think we are all better informed now. And I told them inside that I did not even know that everybody would be here like this. But I'm happy that all of you are here. I want you to go and report that truly you met all of us and there's really, really no problems.
For the first time, we were down at one another. And facts were presented. We look at it and they will also present some credible fact to government. And at the end of the day, we agree that government should go back home and do some things, while Labour should also do our own part.
Members of the medical profession, especially the doctors, are perceived to have a strong hold on the patients. The need to get prompt medical attention in sometimes overstretched and understaffed health facilities at times overshadow the patient's rights to a more professional and courteous service. But it would seem that the discussion around medical rights violations have been centered around the patient, leaving out the healthcare provider. On our Focus on Health tonight, correspondent Yomi Otaigbe highlights the rights and responsibilities of both the patient and the doctor.
When you seek medical attention and health professionals render the service, whether at a government or privately owned health facility, it is expected that both the provider and receiver operate within the ambit of the law. For there have been cases of misconduct, negligence, and issues of criminality by a few doctors when it comes to the medical rights of the patients.
Refusal to treat gunshot victims or patients needing emergency treatment, commercialization of organs and body and blood products, and we look at things like abortion, which is not doing as long as it is not done in the interest of the mother to preserve the life of the mother. Those are criminal aspects of it. Then we look at civil aspects of it, like when a doctor is clearly negligent, where we talk about doctor forgetting things inside patients, where we talk about misdiagnosis or wrong treatment of patients, or where we talk about even leakage of information.
In this doctor-patient relationship, it's a crossroad, as there are instances where patients also infringe on the rights of the doctors.
By refusing to pay for services rendered is a clear instance. I've also found instances of as well where patients have been violent. You remember the Pt.3 issue with First Consultant Hospital, because the doctor also have their rights. So the doctor too has the right not to treat a patient if he fears for his life or limb, or if the doctor feels he's going to be sexually assaulted or verbally or physically assaulted. The doctor has the right to refuse to treat a patient.
When these rights are violated on both sides, what are the options available?
That is why you have the Dental and Medical Council, or that's a tribunal to deal with doctors who can be proven to have been negligent in the performance of their duty. And many doctors have had their names struck off the roll or even suspended. And where you are dealing with hospitals that can pay, big hospitals, people sometimes have gone to court to ask for damages, to compensate for the loss of their loved ones, or the doctor is assaulted by a patient or the relations, doctors also have the rights, like members of the public, to take it up, legally, or even report to the police, even to file charges.
When you don't know your responsibility, you cannot claim your right. And again, a just state is one ruled by just men. So a good citizen in the society, you must know your duties, your rights, and your responsibilities. It will only allow you not to be exploited.
There must be national orientation. The key mandate of the National Agency on Orientation should actually orientate everybody, particularly the clients, the ordinary people, on their medical rights within the medical space.
Upholding medical rights is not limited to doctors and patients alone. Other medical professionals also need to key into it, as a good relationship between the patient and health worker is essential in achieving effective and efficient medical service. Yomi Otaibu reporting for Channels Television News.
We'll take you to our business news studios where Deshawa is standing by to give us a look at what business is like.
Thanks a lot, Sulaiman. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business News. A total of $1 billion is said to be lost to foreign trainings, and this is according to the Director General of the Center for Management Development, Mr. Kabir Usman, who calls for a reversal of the trend to build local capacity. Mr. Usman says the huge spending on foreign trainings could be channeled towards the provision of jobs for the nation's youths.
From May, they are going to start, the accreditation of all the respective institutions and management consultants across the country. And as a result of this, we also intended, to conduct, a national conference sometime next month in order to ensure that we promote the local content agenda, of management, training, in Nigeria. And it is very clear from the discussions and anecdotal evidence that in Nigeria we spend not less than at least $1 billion naira. I mean $1 billion, in terms of training, abroad.
In company news, Skybank PLC is forecasting lower earnings for the full year 2015. In a statement to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the lender attributes this to the prevailing economic issues, which is taking its toll on some key sectors, especially oil and gas and real estate. The bank says it has commenced appropriate remedial processes to salvage affected assets as soon as possible, and Skybank is optimistic that 2016 will be a better year despite the tough operating environment for the industry. It was a 4-day trading session at the Nigerian equities market due to the Easter break, which began on Friday. Nevertheless, the bulls dominated activities at the market, which closed at 0.8% higher, following positive investors' interest across key consumer goods and banking counters. The all-share index increased to 25,899.91, while market capitalization grew by 70.56 billion naira to close at 8.91 trillion naira. Volume traded fell by 86.97% to 1.55 billion shares, worth 10.45 billion naira, and traded in 14,994 deals. Zenith Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, and United Capital collectively accounted for 34.55% of total volume traded during the week. Market breadth was negative as 36 gainers outweighed 22 losers. The effects of the Monetary Policy Committee's decision were seen at the money market this week as the central bank recalled about 400 billion naira from the banking system to meet the new cash reserves ratio on deposits. This, in addition to outflows for the weekly foreign intervention by the CBN and premium payments to the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, led to a 355 basis point surge in average interbank lending rate this week to close at 12.5%. 8.2%. Rates on all tenors also rose, with 1, 3 and 6 month rates expanding to 10.28%, 11.89% and 13%. The overnight rate recorded the largest expansion at 13.63%. Analysts expect further expansion in lending rates next week as the CBN conducts an OMO auction. And that's business news tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment. I am Adeshewa Josh.
Residents of properties built by Lekki Gardens have sent out an SOS to the Lagos State government over plans to seal the buildings in order to carry out integrity tests on them. The group, under the auspices of Lekki Gardens stakeholders, held a crucial meeting in Lagos to discuss the issues surrounding their residences. The residents say it would be unfair for them to vacate their apartments pending the conclusion of the integrity test, as the test could still be carried out without evicting them.
Following the collapse of Lekki Gardens building in Lekki area of Lagos, the state government ordered residents in all buildings constructed by Lekki Gardens to vacate their apartment pending the conclusion of the integrity test that will be carried out on the buildings to ascertain their fitness. These announcements has thrown the Lekki Garden home owners into a frenzy.
We're also interested in the fact that the integrity of most buildings will be, of all the buildings will be, especially the high rises, will be determined. That will give everybody that confidence, but it's just to be sure that, no hasty decisions are made and that, all these things go through the process.
Residents say the buildings are already owned and occupied by homeowners, which makes it difficult for them to move out pending when the integrity test is carried out.
Many of them are worried that, okay, where do you want us to go to when you say we should move out of the house? Or where does the government provide any other alternative for us to stay? And we believe that the government will give you another thought by, relaxing on their earlier measures.
The residents also pleaded with the government to temper justice with mercy, since the owner has demonstrated remorse for his actions.
So unfortunate that what happened, but they should also put in place that it could have happened to anybody, even to the government, even as a company, it could have happened to anybody. They should please, we are begging, he has done so well for us. Please, they should try and see how they can settle this thing amicably.
We implore the government to temper justice with mercy, wear a human face, and consider the hundreds of families that this will put, that a directive to evacuate or to demolish will put into hardship.
The management of Lekki Gardens, on their part, while commiserating with all those who lost their loved ones in the unfortunate incident, have promised to collaborate with all relevant agencies in order to find the exact cause of the accident and avoid a recurrence.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's female under-16 team, the Flamingos, qualify for the FIFA World Cup after beating South Africa 7-0 on aggregate. That's on sports news. Stay with us.